The first play that comes to my mind when I think of every team, let's go. The Cavs, LeBron block, Iguodala, this one's pretty easy. The Clippers is CP3 hitting that game winner against the Spurs, Game 7, first round. I remember this because we ended up losing in the second round to the Rockets after having a 3-1 lead. And I say we, but it's really just CP3 because CP3 is my favorite player. Fuck the Clippers. The Blazers, obviously, is that shot in the playoffs versus the OKC Thunder. Damian Lillard. The Warriors is Steph Curry when he hit that half-court shot against OKC. This is when I was playing on my traveling team. We were watching this out of town. Like, he just shot that bitch from half-court, straight aura farming. The Lakers is Shannon Brown with this block that was called a foul. If Shannon Brown had the same mindset as LeBron or Kobe, damn near the greatest player of all time. On the Rockets is the double step back by James Harden. Steph Curry did the same thing, and then he got called for the travel, and then he put up 1 and 3 to imitate James Harden that he doesn't get called for that shit. Lou Will hitting this game time 3 to send it into OT, and then Marcus Smart hitting the game winner. I was at this game, that's why I remember it. But now it's obviously Kawhi's shot, Game 7 versus the Sixers. On the Bucks, it's Giannis when he was going up against the Blazers, I believe. And he just had a sequence of events where he blocked the ball, got a steal. It was around the time he was emerging as one of the best players in the league. On the Celtics, it's this nasty-ass play when Rajon Rondo passed it to Ray Allen. Rajon Rondo passing compilations are ridiculous. Go watch them. On the Hornets, there's not really too many I can recall, but it's Jeremy Lin hitting the half-court game winner against my Raptors. On the Thunder, it's when KD was falling out of bounds against the Grizzlies in the playoffs. On the Pacers, it's Paul George doing that 360 dunk. On the Pistons is Blake Griffin when he faked the handoff and went all the way in to get an and-one layup for the win. On the Bulls is Nate Robinson when he blocked LeBron on the Heat. On the Kings is Tyreke Evans when he shot it from half court to win the game against, I can't remember the team. The Nuggets, it's Emmanuel Mudiay when he shot that three-pointer at the end of the quarter and he made it from half court. On the Spurs, this is not really a play, but it's when Kawhi came on the court and LeBron looked visibly pissed and frustrated that he came back on the court. On the Wizards is when Paul Pierce banked in the game winner, and then he was asked, "Did you call bank?" And he said, "I call game." On the Jazz, this is Rando with about 0.2 left on the clock. He just flipped it up and in. On the Timberwolves is when Anthony Edwards dunked it on this Heat player. On the Hawks is when Josh Smith had a putback game winner. On the Heat is when Ray Allen hit that corner three-pointer. On the Knicks is when Melo hit that three-pointer against the Bulls. On the Mavs is when Vince Carter hit that three-pointer in the corner versus the Spurs in the playoffs. On the Magic is when they hit that Chalmers, Cole, James. But it was Tobias Harris that finished it off. Don't know why, but on the Grizzlies, it's when Marc Gasol hit a step-in three-pointer to send the game to OT against the Spurs. On the Nets is when Kyrie fell down, got back up, and shot the ball. He ended up missing, but this would have been one of the greatest game winners of all time. On the Pelicans is when Anthony Davis double clutched it for the win against the Thunder. On the Sixers is when Joel Embiid dunked in on Russell Westbrook. And on the Suns is when they stole the ball from IT on the inbound to win the game. Can't even remember the guy's name, but his name was like Enos or something like that. That's it for this video. Thank you guys for listening. If you can subscribe, share, comment, and let me know what first play that you guys think of when you think of a team.